Hey YouTube! Yes, so we have an Ibanez PGM Micro, which is a Paul Gilbert signature. I've got a Paul Gilbert signature, that's a PGM 30. It's full size. This is a 22.5 inch scale. I measured this, this is my second attempt at the video. I ran out of memory. So 22.5 inch scale, shorter body. I suppose I should really compare it to the full size guitar. If I hold them at the right distance, they should both look exactly the same. At what point do they look exactly the same? There they go, they both look the same, don't they? You now start noticing that this one has bigger pickups and a bigger headstock, but actually it's just because the rest of the guitar's different. So a normal guitar or a Strat or an RG are 25.5 inch. This is 22.5, which I think is the same as a Fender Duosonic. And to be honest, Leo kind of knew what he was talking about. Even though he didn't play the guitar, he seemed to understand things. So 22.5 scale means that this is still able to handle standard tuning. Once you get lower than that, you start having to put really thick strings on and then tuning it up. But 22.5, it still takes tens. It's a little bit lighter. You have to be a little bit lighter on it, just because the strings are so bendy, because the tension's low. You could maybe put 11s or 12s on it, and it would bring that down. But it kind of fits. Yeah, so Paul Gilbert actually plays these. I've seen an interview with him before. He does guitar clinics and things like that. So he's got two of these that fit in. He's got a case that takes two of these next to each other, and it fits in the overhead luggage of a plane. So he can basically turn up with two of these, and I think he's got a pedal board that's made of the wee mini pedals that fits in the case as well. So basically he's got everything. It's like, hi, I'm Paul Gilbert, I'm here, just point me towards the amp, and then that's it, he's ready to go. He uses the second one. He uses I don't know if you've ever seen him play a 3-string guitar, just one of these, and you tune all. I think you take tune it to a D, and I think one of the middle ones to a D, and then another one to a D as well. So you get 3 D strings, and it only means you can only play one thing, but that thing you can play is pure cool. So, and because you play the same thing on each string, and you end up with this pure amazing riff. So he's got one just for that. Quite right. Yeah, so it's an Ibanez. Ibanez are great. Yeah, I had to do the nut on this, so you might have to do the nut. See, because it's a smaller scale, you have to be more accurate with the nuts. It's the same as like if you compare it to a bass, which I don't actually have a bass sitting. You can't see a bass just now, which is disgusting seeing as I'm a bass player. But you don't need to be as accurate on a bass as you do on a guitar, and you don't need to be as accurate on this, on a guitar as you are on this. Because everything's smaller, the tolerances are smaller, so your action, it's just a bit fidgetier to adjust. So that, if you're having problems, this guitar would not play open chords because the nut was too high, so what you were actually doing was bending the strings too much when you were holding down the chords. Sounded alright up here, but down here, whereas now it does work. Yep, so all we've got is just a volume and a 5-way switch, 2 humbuckers, hardtail bridge, through strung like a Telecaster. Oh look, they missed with one of them, not in a straight line. Oh. It's intentional. There's a reason for it, something to do with string tension or something. But I'll let them off, and it still has the sort of the roughly male member shaped cavity cover like the big one does. You get your all access neck join. The neck itself, I'm going to do another video. This is video number 1. Video number 2 is going to be comparing it to the real one, whether it's a real one or not. This is still a Paul Gilbert signature, just as much as that is. Well, actually, this is probably more of a Paul Gilbert signature than that is, because that's the cheaper model. I don't know if he actually ever played that exact model. The one he played that was out at that time had a maple fingerboard and didn't have pickup rings, and there wasn't really much else, and obviously didn't have the DiMarzio pickups in it. I would imagine probably Paul has replaced the pickups in his with DiMarzio's, because DiMarzio would have just said, "Oh, do you want us to put pickups in that guitar for nothing here?" And he was, yeah, of course. Not that there's anything wrong with the pickups in it. So it's got my favourite switch in it as well, the Cortex switch. So you've got a 2 humbucker guitar, that's fine. So down at the bottom you've got the humbucker, in the middle you get both humbuckers, at the neck you get the neck humbucker, nice and easy. Clever thing is, I suppose here's the neck pickup. Very powerful and not great for clean neck humbuckers, or any humbuckers. I mean, it's alright, but if you go to position 4, suddenly you've got, as opposed to, it's just got that jangly, fendery sound now. So what it's doing is it's giving you, instead of these 2 coils being wired as a humbucker, it's wiring them in parallel, not in series, which gives you a hum cancelling single coil. So it's still hum cancelling, but you don't have, you're not bucking that hum. Yep, and then middle position's loud again because you get the 2 humbuckers. Then position 4 you get both of these coils split down, so you get a sort of Telecaster in the middle position. Oh yeah. That might be my favourite sound in a guitar, to be honest. Especially seeing as now, I'm getting old, so I've kind of stopped. I don't use distortion as much. I keep playing clean. I know it's shocking, isn't it? It's really kind of started with that guitar, to be honest, because it's got a lot of these single coily sounds in it. I've really started really enjoying clean, even more than distortion, which is, I mean, I'm kind of disgusted with myself, to be honest. Neck hum cancel. One of the things about the short scale is you can actually reach a lot further. That's a terrible backing track. You can span more frets, so things that you couldn't normally do on a guitar. That's fine. I can't normally do that on a guitar, especially if you're up here. You can get, if you practice, you can get a much bigger stretch. Yeah, I think a lot of people buy these for their kids. Because, I'm not buying it for myself. No, I'm buying it for wee Johnny. He's wanting to play the guitar. What's a guitar, Dad? Shh! Because they are cool. I mean, again, is it a travel guitar? Could be. Apparently, as Paul Gilbert says, it's like if you can get it in overhead luggage on the plane, which means you don't need to wait for check-in. So yes, I suppose technically it is a travel guitar. Then you're not really losing anything. But I'm actually quite pleased the last video shut down. I was only 5 minutes into it, but just after 5 minutes of playing, I've now got the hang of it again. There is a slight adjustment to make to playing the smaller thing, basically not moving your fingers as far apart and not holding down as much and playing a little bit lighter, because it's and especially with the bends, you'll see every time I was doing a bend there, it's like, because I don't have it. I know roughly if I'm trying to bend up 2 notes on a normal guitar, yeah, I know how hard to push, whereas if you bent it the same in this, you'd be up more than that. So it's just a case of adjusting a little bit of your playing. I'm not even consciously doing it, just a little bit of getting used to it, and you're in there. I didn't like that. Don't try to leave it and 24 frets. Oh, you can totally overbend. I can't believe it's holding tune. I don't think I'm going to snap a string, but kind of. There's a little bit of me that's saying, because it's bending up to those ridiculous notes, to push it as hard as I can and see if I can snap a string. I don't, but it's not my guitar, I can't do that. Also, the mean side of me, the money's happy, I'm not snapping a string. I don't want to have to buy another set of strings. So to save myself that, but I mean, yeah, I can see there's quite a lot of fun in this, actually. I mean, I did quite like it when I sorted it out. I was playing it the other day, but I never actually got to that extreme bendy thing. That's yeah. So maybe some things are actually better on this guitar. This is what's the serial number start? GS 2009. Oh, there's an awful lot of zeros in a serial number. 2009. I don't know. I don't think that means 2009. I think that 20 probably means 2020. So it's 4 years old. But I mean, it's never been played. It's mint. Absolutely. Which I think is probably something to do with the nut not being properly cut. Someone's bought it and gone, oh, I don't like a short scale guitar. You just need to. It's the setup. But it's a beautiful little thing. Great fun and a genuine Paul Gilbert signature. Available in, you can definitely get it in white, and you can definitely get it in his other one that he had, which was like a purpley dark blue with pink F-holes. I think this one might be a relatively new colour. It's a little bit classier looking. Is it? I just get used to looking at it, and all the proportions are great. The pickups look big though, and the headstock looks too big, because the headstock's just the same as the full-size guitar, and so are the pickups. So they that's kind of a little bit off, but the rest of it, if you blanked off the headstock, I think it's pretty much exactly the same dimensions. To be honest, it actually looks, I've had the two of them hanging on my wall the last couple of days, and it makes that one look wrong. This one, even though I've owned that one for 18 months, something like that, I still look at this one looks right, and I've only had it in the house for 4 days. That one looks kind of lanky and pointless a little bit, which is a bit weird. Yeah, so PGM Micro, great fun. Yeah, buy it for your kids or something. I don't let them beat it up though, but also fun for just something else. That whole thing about being able to bend the strings up a little bit higher, I'm really thinking the option for having it as a recording thing as well is probably valid. And obviously they're normal size humbuckers, so you can put in your DiMarzios if you really want to. The pickups in it sound great though. All Ibanez pickups seem to sound great. It's a bit off-putting when you see, this is a slightly separate rant when you look at, like, you know, your RGs and stuff like that, and all the ones you see for sale have Seymour Duncans and DiMarzios in them, which makes you think, oh, that must mean that the pickups that you get in it are rubbish. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. The pickups you get in standard Ibanez are always decent. It's just, everything's such a higher quality. It's not like having a Harley Benton and then putting Seymour Duncans in it. Then what you've got is a shit guitar with expensive pickups in it. Whereas with the Ibanez, the quality level of the rest of the guitar, like the actual build, the frets, the positioning of everything is always really high. So you're not just putting good pickups in a shit guitar with an Ibanez RG, which is very easy to do on other types of guitar. But they don't need replacing. I think it's a little bit of, I love this guitar so much, it's absolutely fantastic, I can't think of anything wrong with it. I want to tart it up. I want to do more to it, and then that's why you put more expensive pickups in. Not that obviously I've got an RG there, it doesn't have the original pickups in it. No, it's that one. But neither of them did when I bought it. So yeah, so PGM Micro, great fun. You may have to get somebody to cut the nut, or cut the nut yourself for you, or on this one anyway. It could have been a blip. I was just slightly wary. I'm always saying, oh, you just buy an Ibanez or a Yamaha. I don't generally get these things brand new. I normally get them in, I buy them once it's 5 years old or 10 years old, and it's been sitting, some kids got it for Christmas and never played it. So they've never really been set up normally. Well, I don't know, or somebody has set them up, so I don't know what a modern one's like, basically. Everything else on this is just flawless, apart from that nut needing cut. But the setup wise, I haven't touched anything else. I might have done the intonation, but you don't know what somebody's done to it. It's not brand new. It's 4 years old, so someone might have been fidgeting with it at some point. But we've got really low action and everything. So, video 1, PGM Micro. Totally worth it. Again, like anything, is there anything you go up here? I'd probably try and buy a second-hand one. But that's me. And the thing is, then I know what I'm doing. I suppose there is an element of, if you don't really know how to do up guitars or fix them, or know anything really about guitars, maybe just buying a new one's the way to go. And you're okay, you're paying twice as much money for it, but you're getting that peace of mind that you're not getting something, whereas I know what I'm looking at, so I would just buy anything second hand. It's like, just because it's 2/3 of the price, man. Rock on!